Hi, welcome back. I know I've been missing for quite some time, and the past few months I've been very quiet. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, trying to find a better strategy to offer to you guys. I mean, to help to make your trading experience better and safer. So what happened was, among some of the YouTube videos I've watched, I've learned many things, and I came to the conclusion that in any EA, expert advisors, there has to be these three components, minimum of three components. The first thing is you need to have your entry signals. Okay, the second thing would be your risk management, and last but not least would be your exit signals. Now, once you have these three components in your EA, I am very sure that your trading would be much better. And so what happened was this is that I have been discouraging people from purchasing any of the current EA Flickr products from the MQL store, and I've been telling a lot of people as well to just wait because there's something big that's coming your way, based on all these new ideas that I've gotten from here and there. I'd also like to take this opportunity this time to shout out to two very special people. Okay, the first one would be Swaggy C, okay, who runs the Swag Academy. Okay, now Swaggy C, he highlighted one thing, which are the key levels. Okay, the psychological key levels, and I'll explain to you later on. Okay, and if you have time, just go through his videos. I'm sure that you learn a lot, and most of the things that Swaggy talks about, okay, you'll be able to find it available in the core versions of Flickr as well. Okay, I've decided that because the things that Chris talks about, they are very sound, and then yeah, why not just put it into Flickr, and yeah, you can try mix and match those features and come up with even a better strategy that's more profitable, with of course the higher end of the Flickr product series. And the second person I'd like to shout out to would be this guy who has this channel, the Little Panda Forex. Okay, he also said certain things which I've picked up as well, and I found them very useful, which I've also included in the Flickr product line. And so therefore, I'm very excited to introduce to you a new Flickr which is called AVA. And not the old AVA, but this AVA has a different strategy, is safer, and it incorporates a lot of things that Swaggy and Little Panda talk about. So yeah, now what is to touch a little bit on what are key levels, for example. Okay, now if you go to any charts, okay, let's take GU for example. What key levels would be the area or the zone, the levels whereby you would expect price to hit or linger or hang on, and those levels are the key levels, and the key levels are normally the thousand figures. So if you look at GU, so the thousand figures would be like 1.37. Okay, so 7,000. Now the next one would be the 6,000. Now to make it easier for you to to look at, okay, so can I change this? Yep. Okay, let's just do this. Okay, so this is one key level. The next one should be here. Okay, let's just use three key levels as an example. Okay, so these are the major key levels, okay, the psychological key levels. Now what happened is that if you notice, you will notice these key levels on any charts, okay, so you can use GUGA, whatever, okay, because they're dealing with money, and then these levels are always present. You can even use it on gold, okay, XAUSD for that matter. Okay, you see these levels as well. Now if you notice that every time, for example, we start from here, let's say we start from 11 January, okay, so once it break through the key level, it retested, and then it ran all the way up, then it consolidated, tested, try to break that, the resistance level, and then it broke, and then it ran up further, and it hit this key level. So I didn't see charts this way. I mean, I didn't know. And after listening to what Chris had to say, I said, wow, yes, it's true. And then if you look at this, okay, it didn't really touch this key level, but then it went all the way up again. It touched this key level, and it went back down, consolidated at this level again, retested, and went down again, and then went up again. Okay, so you notice this, like, on and off, very evidently across the chart. Okay, it went up, down, up. Okay, so psychological key levels, I after watching and listening to what Chris has to say, I feel it is very important, and it should be one of the features that should be included in the Flickr product line series. Okay, so I've included this into AVA. Now the next thing is what I learned from Little Panda was this: to look for candlestick patterns. Okay, and the one that he highlighted was the engulfment candle, whereby the next candle is of it eats up the previous candle. Okay, in that context, or the series of candles that eats up the previous candles, that kind of thing. So when you have an engulfment candle, whether it's bullish or bearish, it will definitely go that direction. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, there are many of these candles throughout, and you will see them all over the place, and it is like a confirmation that there will be a change of trend, or the trend is going in a certain direction. So I've incorporated this too, okay, in Flickr AVA, and we're gonna see how it plays out and how it works. Okay, now in order for you to get your hands on this trial copy, well, I'm giving 2 weeks of free trial until February for you to try Flickr AVA for free. Okay, no cost charge, nothing. You don't even need to pin in your credit card number, nothing. Okay, the EA is shared to you for free, but then in order to do that, you would be at the bottom of this YouTube video. Okay, there'll be a link to a Google Doc. Okay, you fill it up. Okay, Flickr free trial, a link you to this page. Fill everything up. Please read through everything that I've written here. Okay, fill up your email address, your name, your trading account number. Now it's very important to give me a valid one, because DEA will be tied to your trading account, or else it will not work. Okay, and then it will ask you 3 simple questions. Okay, if you have not, just click on this radio button, and then click on the link. It will bring you to the site, and then you get more value from this content. Okay, so things like, would you like to be funded for trading? Okay, I mean, like, well, you can trade with any amount, and it's not wrong. You can trade with $100, or you can trade with $10,000. Okay, that kind of thing. But to do that, there are ways, whereby people are offering funds for you to trade on or trade with, but you have to fulfill a certain criteria set, that kind of thing. So to find out more, click on it, and then it'll tell you more about it, what you need to do in order to get your hands to trade on that sum of money. I mean, if your trading strategy is sound, and if AVA works, I mean, why not to be funded anyway? Okay, so how about receiving cashback for trading? For every lot that you've completed, you get a portion back. Why not? More money, why not? And then one of the crucial questions that I see, being asked in any trading channels, whether it's on Discord, whether it's on Telegram. Okay, people ask, what kind of VPS should I use, which is good, which is bad, that kind of thing. Okay, so no, then you must visit this link. Okay, then yeah. So these are the stuff that I'm using, and I'd like to share it with you as well. So yeah, now once you click on submit, the information will go to me, and I'll process your your request, and there'll be a download link. You click on it, and you give me like 1 to 3 days for me to get this set up for you, and you can run the EA and test it as much as you want until the trial period expires. Okay, now I've only tested this on GU, so let me pull up now I'm actually running this again. Okay, it runs very well on the M15 chart. Okay, the time chart. Okay, so once you get AVA, you load it up, slap it onto any pair that you like, and run it on M15, and it should be good to go. Okay, I mean, I will encourage you strongly to test it first before you start using it on a live account, because then you'll be able to see its performance, how it works and stuff like that. Now, the thing about AVA is one question that I guess is hovering or lingering at the back of your mind is does it use the Martingale? No, but there's an option to enable it, and if you enable the Martingale, it gives you more profit. Well, because more positions open, which means more money being used, more profits, but then there's also the higher risk factor that comes along with it as well. So you can enable it, and I'm going to show you how if you want to. Okay, so this is throughout 2020 until today. So this is how it has been performing. Now if you don't see the green line, so there's no Martingale, that kind of thing. Okay, now if you were to go to the settings page, it looks like this. Let me resize it. Okay, it looks like this. Okay, it's very easy. Okay, magic number, all these are standard. Suspend info. Okay, now this is a risk management feature which I've included into AVA, and it is very useful. And for those of you who plans to use AVA for your FTMO trading, your challenge or even your trial, okay, this will be very beneficial to you, and I'll explain to you why. Okay, now lot settings. Okay, as per usual. Now Martingale is disabled because the max orders is set to 1. Now if you want to enable Martingale, you just put it to 10, 100, 200, that kind of thing. Okay, so put it more than 1. But default, okay, pressing on reset, okay, it comes default settings like this. Okay, so you don't need to change anything at all, but just to choose the time frame that you want to run this on, and also the pair, and you're good to go. Okay, now the order pattern, you can toy with this later on, but I put it as same, doesn't matter, but you can choose whether it's according to trend, adaptive. Now adaptive, it means that let's say you are running Martingale. Now this is only useful in Martingale. Okay, so if you're running Martingale, okay, Martingale open a series of positions. Now sometimes it may not be in the profit direction. Now what adaptive does is that, let's say from the last position and it's in negative, so if you choose the order pattern to adaptive, based on your last position, if it's negative or it's losing money, it'll open a position of the opposite direction. Okay, so instead of sell, it'll be a buy, that kind of thing. So adaptive. But if it's in profit direction, so if it's profit in the buy direction, so you open another buy. Okay, so you follow the direction whereby it is giving you profit. Okay, now overlap orders, what this feature means is that if you're using Martingale, you have different levels, okay, of equidistance. Let's say you're using 200, okay, as your distance. Now I'm not sure whether you've thought of this before, but what if you can have more than one position at that same position? As in, sometimes price they don't just go all the way up. Sometimes it lingers, consolidates, that kind of thing. Now, what if you can put more positions at that region so that it hits profit faster rather than you have to go, because let's say toward range, if there's another position at the next level, the next position that the E is gonna open will be at 400. Okay, so if you want it to be possible to place multiple positions at the same level, just put this to enable. Okay, and then set the values. Okay, so range and distance. Okay, play with it, you see what it does. Okay, now this is the psychological key level. Okay, so is it enabled? Yes. So AVA actually uses multiple signal confirmations before it places a position, and that's why I guess it makes it very safe. I mean, if you would look at the graph here, okay, it is going up. It doesn't really show any of these lines going down. Okay, even though the profit may be small, but it's still going up. And then sometimes you will get regions or market condition whereby it is in your favor and it just goes all the way up, that kind of thing. Okay, so yeah, enable this. Okay, now I've thrown this in for you to play with. Okay, I mean, you can experiment with the EA and see which works best for you. And yeah, so what this does is that P key level retest, so entry after a retest. So what happened is, let's say it hits a key level. Let's put this up. Where is it? Let's say it hits this key level. Okay, but if you notice that most of the time it will consolidate, it retest, and then before it goes all the way down or it goes back up again, that kind of thing. Okay, so what happens is that you do not want to find yourself to be building up on drawdowns, because let's say price hits this, okay, 136, okay, 136 the first time. You do not want the EA to take this position because you are not sure whether it's going up or down. Okay, it's not like when the candle closes on this line is going all the way up. It's not like that kind of confirmation. What you would like, perhaps, for the EA to perhaps wait a little longer, okay, until it's really really like sure, or to have a confirmation before it takes that particular position. Okay, so what you can do with the retest is you can set it to, okay, let's wait out 3 candles. Okay, 1 2 3, and then it expires in the next 7 candles. So that's what this thing does. Okay, so you retest value 3. Okay, so if you set this 3, so it will only place a position starting from the next 3 candles, and then that position, if it's not taken, or price has went up or below it, then that position will expire after the 7th candle. Okay, so this is what it does. So take profit, stop loss. Okay, now we are not using stop loss at all. Okay, we have a better way of handling exiting a trades, like what I've shared earlier. There are 3 very important components. The one of it is the exit signal. So we're going to use exit signal for our strategy, so we do not need to find ourselves. Now, it is very evident that if you see graphs that have ups and downs, up down, up down, up down, down 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 down, up, that kind of thing. Okay, they use a certain kind of stop loss, and I believe you do not need to lose that kind of money, because you never know when it will go all the way down, or whether it will go up again should it be going down. You get what I mean? So there's no certainty whereby you recover from your losses. So what I thought is, we do not use stop losses, because stop losses would promote losing money, even though not a lot, but then you still lose money, that kind of thing. And but instead to use exit signals, which is more reliable, I believe. Okay, so we are not using this, so we're not even using trailing for the matter, because with exit signal, once the exit signal gives an opposite direction signal, that kind of thing, so the trade or the basket will close entirely, and then you just take profit whatever you have, okay, in that session, because once it gives an opposite signal, that means trend is changing the other direction, okay, at that point of time. So yeah, now I've also included max spread for you to use. So in very volatile market conditions, you can set your spread limit, okay. Then I've also included break even value, okay, so you can use this as well. And then exit strategy, okay, I've only given one. Actually, if you were to buy, the highest end of the flicker course, okay, you have a lot of entry indicators, risk management features, and exit indicators to play with, okay. So but for this strategy alone, AVA, we'll only need to use the MA crossover, okay. Then we have risk management, suspend. This is a big thing, and I don't see this available on any other EAs out there, but it may come as a separate tool, okay. Suspend is, you can take it like an equity manager, whereby it's a separate feature kind of thing. It helps to protect your account, okay. Should you be going through losses or drawdowns, whether it cuts the losses, and then what you should do with it, okay. Now suspend is more useful, I would say, if you were to use Martingale, because Martingale strategy suggests that you do not put any stop loss, because it gives the ample room for the market to retrace. But the problem with Martingale is a lot of people were to find this and conclude that Martingale will only blow your account because sometimes market would not retrace. And if you have watched my earlier videos, one contributing factor also, it could be because of your distance, because you didn't set, or one didn't set the levels, how to say, at appropriate value, that kind of thing, whereby it allows retracement, it allows room for the market to go sideways, that kind of thing, before retracement comes. So yeah, that's it. So suspend, what it does is this, okay. Do you enable it? Yes or no? Okay, it's enabled, okay, because I want to protect your account as well from losses, okay. At which position does it start? 4, okay, 4th position. If we are using Martingale, this suspend feature will only kick in at the 4th position. Minimum drawdown, maximum drawdown. Give it a range whereby you allow drawdown to hit in a certain range before it starts taking the next measure to control your account's losses, okay. So I'm using these figures based on FTMO's 25k challenge, okay, whereby the maximum drawdown per day is 1250, that kind of thing, okay. So you do not set the value at 1250, but you give it a certain leeway, a certain margin, a room, whereby it can breathe, because having a fast VPS is one thing, but then from your broker, when it connects to the market, that kind of thing, it still needs time, okay. Sorry, from your EA on the VPS connecting to your broker, there might be milliseconds in between, whereby market can just go, it can just drop fast, or goes up very fast, and then it might have overshot your max drawdown for the day, okay. So I set this to, it start at 1150, okay, maximum. Then suspend will start to work, okay. So do you want to include your daily profit? Because in FTMO you can use your daily profit to offset your losses for that day, okay. Account max loss, okay. So what this does is that for the 25k account, max loss is 2500. So I set it 24, like I said, give it space for it to breathe and move, okay. So once your account has hit a total of 2400, it will stop trading entirely, until you reset the EA, or you come back to your computer and reset the whole thing altogether. Okay, now cake. So what happened is this, is that let's say, now like I say, this is especially useful for, if your strategy uses Martingale. Let's say you have 4 positions. Okay, fourth position kick in, and then your DD is building up. Now what happened is, as you have newer positions, or when newer positions are being opened, using Martingale, the lot size gets bigger, which also means that your drawdown gets bigger as well. Now, without suspend, it is almost like checkmate, and you're just waiting for your account to blow. Okay, but with suspend, if you enable kick, okay, you can disable it, and which position out of the 4 positions do you want to kick first? Okay, so I've set this to the position with the biggest drawdown. Now basically what I hope to do is that I kick the biggest drawdown first, biggest position, the position with the biggest drawdown. Sorry, I've not done this for a very long time, so words don't come naturally, that kind of thing. So it gives you more room to breathe before it hits, your maximum drawdown for the day. So what I want to do is kicks the position with the biggest drawdown, and then hopefully that it'll buy you a little more time for the market to retrace, and it save you from losing all the value from the 4 multiple positions, and just to lose 1, and the other 3 you could have closed in profit instead. So this is supposed to help you minimize your losses. Okay, suspend. Now then you can choose, after kicking this position, what do you want suspend to do. Okay, so once it starts kicking, you can choose that the EA opens no new positions, or it can continue open new positions, or if your drawdown is still in negative, no new positions are being opened. Okay, brilliant, right? Okay, I know, I thought of this. Okay, so so after you kick that position, so what do you want suspend to do? Okay, now after kicking the position, wait for how many seconds? Now breather room. Okay, because if you set this to 0, you keep kicking all the positions and you'll be in a loss. Okay, auto loss, that kind of thing. So yeah, I put 10 seconds as default. Now let's say suspend has kicked out of 4 positions, 3 positions and 1 position is left. So what should suspend do? Okay, with the last position, it will wait until the candle close, and then it will close in loss or profit, or wait for the next 3 candles before it close, or wait until or it waits for reclaim. Now this is the interesting part. Okay, now I think this has been interesting all so far. Okay, because you can choose how you minimize your losses. Okay, and then this reclaim. Okay, what reclaim does is, remember those positions that you have kicked. Okay, let's say we have kicked the biggest drawdown position. Now it doesn't just goes to the bin with reclaim. Okay, with reclaim, what it does is that you can choose, okay, how much you reclaim from the positions that you have kicked. So let's say that I've kicked the position with the biggest drawdown and it's worth $1,000. Reclaim, you take note of this, and based on how much you set, whether you want to reclaim 50% of it, your take profit will change and be all written with 500 in addition to your current take profit. How's that? Okay, so that means there is always a possibility to recover from losses, because we know this, that when the market drops or when the market goes up, there will be a window whereby it retraces, and in that retracement window is normally when you have your biggest position open, and if that position is closed entirely, you will have complete losses. But if we do not close that position and it's still open and market retraces, you could have recover your losses from the initial kick position. So that's where reclaim comes in, I believe, and it is very, very useful, especially when you're using Martingale. Actually, only when you're using Martingale. So play with the settings and you see how they work and how they complement each other, that kind of thing. Okay, so I've also included news filter. Okay, you can set it, you stop trading or opening new positions to the basket or new basket, how many minutes before news, okay, resume, and then you can set which kind of news, okay, medium, high impact, that kind of thing. Okay, trade closure. Okay, this applies to daily or Fridays only. Now FTMO doesn't allow you to have pending trades over the weekend, right? So yeah, Fridays, you can set this Fridays, and then okay, so window, okay, it stops opening new positions from what time, and then the last call whereby okay, it will not tolerate any more position open, and it will just auto close everything. So this is last call. Okay, so from window to last call is the area or the window whereby the EA will try to complete the trade in whether in profit or loss. Okay, so yeah, you can set this. Okay, you use this. Okay, session filter, whether you want to trade all the sessions or just selectively trade certain sessions. Now this is the interesting part. Okay, indicator settings. Okay, this is the entry signal indicators. Okay, we're using two. I throw in the MA crossover as well for you to use. Okay, so the primary one is MA. You can use MA crossover or candlestick pattern, up to you. And then the confirmation type, whether do you want all the signals to agree or whether just one, minimum of 3 or majority, up to you as well. Okay, so okay, MA lah, moving average. Okay, you know this. But I added something extra whereby do you want the EA to check whether it closed on the MA line. So let's say you set smoothed 50. Okay, so do you want it to give an entry signal when the candle closes on the line? Okay, or only to give that entry signal when the candle closes on the line? Okay, this is set to enable. So that's why it has a lot of confirmations in this strategy, and chances of you losing money, it is very low. I'm not saying that you won't lose money, but then because I mean, if anyone will tell you that you will not lose money from trading, I would say this, that guy is overselling things. I mean, even the most successful traders like Swaggy C, he actually loses money as well, and he does show it in his videos too. He doesn't just show all the profits and no losses at all, that kind of thing. So yeah, you do lose money. Okay, and you can play with this. Okay, MA crossover, candlestick patterns. Okay, I've only given you one because we are just using this in this strategy. And then it comes to the exit signal indicator. Okay, this is where you set it as well. Okay, now exit signal indicator will not work if this is not enabled. So double check if you have this enabled or it is still disabled. If this is set as disabled, your exit signal indicator will not work at all. Okay, so do check this out. Okay, so MA crossover exit. So yeah, I guess it's pretty simple. Okay, so do you want here to draw lines on your chart? Okay, for those of you who don't like it to be messy, or you have those I so some people are very gifted to see things very quick, very fast, but I'm not. But for people like me, okay, maybe you want it enabled. Okay, and then yeah, how many lines, that kind of thing. So yeah, this is AVA, and if you would like to try it, I'm giving it for you to try it for free 2 weeks, okay, until January ends. Okay, so click on the link that leads you to the Google Documents, at the bottom of this YouTube video. And yeah, finally, I guess AVA will give you hope in trading, and I hope you feel the same, because I felt that wow, this is just mind-blowing. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like it, subscribe, okay, to the channel, like the video, and then do join the Telegram group as well. And yeah, share with us your experience and how else can we improve the strategy or to create a new strategy. But Like I said, this is just one of the many strategies in the core. Oh, actually, I haven't told you that, the Flickr Ultimate has a lot of stuffs in it, and I'll release it later on. Okay, so AVA is not available on the market yet, but I plan to have it in two different packages, whether you can rent it for the minimum price that MQL accepts, or you can buy it, one time payment, that kind of thing. You can do it like that as well. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video and find it useful. See ya.